Hello, I'm Brett J, and I've been a head football coach for 17 years now. And this is our summer strength and conditioning program. We talked about agility yesterday. Today we're talking about speed. Here's our whiteboard. A and B are in the weight room, and C is out on the field. And so today we're talking about developing speed training. Here's kind of an overview of what our camp looks like on the field after the weight room. We extend the width of the football field as well as on the track. There's about 7 different drills that we have going. And you can see that we have anywhere from 80 to 110 participants each day. And so we got to make sure that our camp is flowing well. And we do that with great stations and great equipment at each station. The first we have is a 40-yard electronic timer. It's by Dashr 4-gate system. It's outstanding. We just got this recently. We wanted some good hard data for our players, and there's nothing more competitive than data. I mean, we're looking for things to motivate our players, and numbers does it for us. And so we get this out on Tuesdays. Players will go through a couple different stations to get warmed up, and then they're ready to get their time. And we have coaches that run the system. You get an app for your phone, and it just shoots you over the splits, as well as the 40-yard sprint. And it's been nice. It's good for players to know exactly where they're at. It's also a competitive thing that they want to know where they're at with speed within the program. And for the 40-yard dash, our bungee station is meant for overspeed training. Players will walk all the way out, and then it's meant for the trailer. And so a guy will pull his partner, and it'll force him to run at a faster rate than he can actually run. And the whole goal for this is to maintain the fundamentals of sprinting, and we could spend a whole video on that as well. Good posture, that entering the drive phase into the floating phase, as well as finishing. Having good posture. Developing the front side of the sprint as well as the back side. Great arms, hands going hip to ear, knee drive with some dorsiflexion, making sure our foot is landing underneath our hip. Anyways, all these different fundamentals of speed. But really, those orange bungee cords that you see out there, they slingshot the athlete to run at a faster rate. And it's been a good thing for plateaus. You'll see guys kind of get stuck at certain speeds, and then we hit this bungee, and all of a sudden they're realizing they can actually run faster. I think it helps generate faster arm pump. Our legs only pump as fast as our arms rotate, and so we're working on that as well. It turns out to be about a 40-yard sprint. It's just a fantastic drill. They get 3 reps of these a day. So the 40-yard and the bungee training obviously works the entire sprint in the different transitional phases. The parachutes, we like to consider the floating phase, the middle portion of the sprint. So you can watch as they go, they kind of jog into it, kind of like a build-up. If you've ever done a track workout, they build up into their sprint. And then we're wanting it, when they work parachutes, we want them to be real tall. We want their hips underneath them, and they're working the middle portion of their sprint. They get 3 reps of these every single Tuesday. My favorite drill on speed day, which is Tuesday, is the sled pulls. It's the drive phase portion of the sprint. We want them to keep their eyes down. It's about a 10-yard sprint. We like to call it the post position when they get out of the blocks. They're somewhat diagonal to the ground, and they're really working knee drive. They're working big arms, hands going hip to ear. They're generating as fast as arm pump as they can. But again, we try to keep their eyes down through the cone, through the 10-yard sprint. Now, the weight on the sled can vary. This is, we've used multiple sleds in the past. This sled, flows on the grass or pretty much any surface, probably the best. But, there's different sleds out there to take a look at. How much weight you put on there is completely up to you. Are you wanting for your athletes to get into their drive phase and to generate some speed, or are you wanting a real heavy pull? I've seen everything from even pulling just stacks of chains as well, so athletes can get to a higher end speed. But athletes do sled pulls. They get 3 reps at 10 yards every single Tuesday. Next up, we have our wicket drill, which is the stride lengthener for the sprinter. They get 3 reps of these on Tuesdays. So you kind of do the math. We have anywhere from 6 to 7 to 8 drills. Athletes will get 18 to 21, maybe at the most 24 reps. But here's a behind the angle where you can see the wickets laid out on the track. And the idea is that the stride of the athlete is shorter at the beginning, and as they lengthen throughout the 40-yard sprint or however long you want to create the distance, their stride continues to lengthen. Now their posture has to change. They go from the drive phase to the floating phase. They get nice and long. They get their hips underneath them. They have both front end running as well. And they're now we kind of over exaggerate lengthening the stride, so it can kind of look awkward at times. We carefully place each wicket on the ground so athletes know what the aiming point is. And again, it over exaggerates at some point a little bit, but we think we feel that's okay because when they get to a sprint, their stride will condense a little bit. But the idea is you're chewing up as much ground as possible. You're really working your cycle as well as having a fantastic turnover. So if our turnover is at a great rate and we're chewing up the track and our stride is lengthening, our times are going to continue to get better. So this is the wicket drill. We like our athletes to start in a 4-point stance, just like if they're coming out of the blocks. I've mentioned numerous times that this is going to be year 17 for me as a head football coach, and so that's 17 to 18 off seasons where we gather as many drills as possible. We found this one out of a magazine. One of my old coaching buddies, Leon Jackson, found this. He got it from Chris Johnson, the running back from the Titans. It's resistant band training. We partner up. We have a big heavy gray band. The first one we work is the A-skip, which is crucial for sprinting and developing sprint mechanics. It's creating rhythm. Hands go hip to ear. We like to keep 90-degree arms. You can see where we're not great with some of that stuff, but we're really getting the knee drive, dorsiflexion with our feet and ankles, and that foot is landing underneath our hip. The next one we have is just regular high knees. We have to have great resistance, so it almost feels like we're running in place right here. You can see kind of that forward lean, that post position that we've talked about. Now that can vary with this drill. You can have the forward lean or they can be more upright. Bottom line is we need to get our arms pumping. We need to get our knee drive rolling. Next up, we have a karaoke, which is just a giant leg over. We really like to strengthen our hips in this one, flip our hips, and really pull our partner. We have to make sure that our partner's giving us as much resistance as possible. They do each one of these. So they go through these exercises. That's one round. They have 3 rounds of each. They do this every Tuesday. Our ladder drills, we call it one set of it, one full round. They're getting 7 to 10 reps, which is 7 to 10 different ladder drills. And, it's just kind of a compilation. We do a lot of research online trying to find something that's interesting that we think will translate to the field. First one they have is 1 step each square. Knees got to get up. We demand that their knees get up and that they have good posture, standing nice and tall, and great arm pump. And you can see some have good dorsiflexion, some don't, but we should have 90-degree arms to about 110-degree arms, depending where they're at. Hands going hip to ear, one foot each box. Next up, we have 2 foot each box. It's not a race, but we do want to have as quick as feet as possible. We do this on every single day of the summer, whether it's our agility day, our speed day, our plyometric day, or our power day. And so at the end of the summer, athletes have done this 36 to 38 different times. They've gone through each set, which is each round. But 2 feet each square, standing tall, getting the knee pump as quick as possible. Next up, we have the Icky Shuffle. These first 3 exercises, everyone has seen these, but I just love the Icky Shuffle. It is my all-time favorite. 2 foot in each box, 1 foot out. That's our plant foot. We're getting off the plant foot as quickly as possible. We're making sure our arms get in rhythm. And we want to challenge ourselves. If we hit the ladder, that's okay because we want to really push our foot speed. It's easy to coast and be in cruise control on the ladder drill. We like to push ourselves past the line to the edge, and this is a fun one to do it on. Next up, we have the Moses Lake 2-step. We call it that because, they end up loving this one so much they'll do it at the local homecoming dance. But 2 feet out, the back foot goes in and touches the square. Both feet out, back foot goes in. They get their arms pumping side to side pretty good to help flip their hips. This is a great drill to generate some torque with their hips, as well as to teach them how to flip their hips and generate a little power. Every athlete, every sport demands great hips, and so this is a good one. You can see some of our more experienced ladder goers. They're able to flip their hips at a quick rate. Here's another view of the two-step. Again, just great drill. Athletes do a good job of this, and and they have a lot of fun with it. So it's another one of those drills where they should really push themselves, and we say it's okay if you mess up, it's okay if you fail, if you snag the ladder, because we really want to get them at it. What we call yellow light. So there's 3 different lights: green light, yellow light, red light. We worked with sports psychologist Brian Kane. He's a mental conditioning coach, and he has identified each phase. Green light, we're in the zone, we're rocking. Yellow light, we're in cruise control, and then red light, we're in performance anxiety. And so it's easy to slip into yellow light with the ladder drills. Here's a most like two-step again. So we want our guys to push themselves as hard as they can out of cruise control into green light, and if they do snag a ladder, it's okay. But because we're generating foot speed and constantly working on improving our foot speed. Next up, we have the typewriter. Athletes are going to lead with their front foot. We're saying get your shoulders over your toes, let your arms get in rhythm. So the top ladder, you can see they're leading with their left foot, and when they go through the bottom ladder here, they're going to lead with their right foot. And both feet will go into each square, and they're just pumping their feet as quickly as possible. It's working great lateral movement right here, really creating good foot speed, improving their agility every single day. Agility for us is being at a complete stop, getting to full speed as quickly as possible, working in really tight places, being able to, whether it's cutting in the hole, whether it's reaching on a 6-inch step, whatever it is, quarterback pocket presence. This ladder drill helps improve that. Here's another example of the typewriter. You can see him upright, shoulders over toes. Got to have some good knee bend. And we're just going to go as quickly as possible, really pushing ourselves to the limit here, getting out of the comfort zone, making ourselves uncomfortable, and improving our foot speed, improving our agility. Next up, we've got our scissors. This is another hip flipper, another opportunity to generate some torque and some power with our hips. It's both feet will touch each square, and they're just going to go as quickly as possible on their way through. But the idea again is we're creating good hips, and we're teaching ourselves how to flip our hips, how to transition in and out with our hips. So it's a good drill. Their arms kind of let themselves get in rhythm. You'll be able to see that more here in a second, I believe. But their arms allow them to feel that, stay balanced, and help generate some torque as well. It's a great drill. We call this the scissors. It's fun for us to label each. Here's another example of them standing up doing the scissors. It's fun for us to label each drill. They talk about it better. They don't have to sit there and describe it each time. They're just, all right, scissors, and they're off and rolling. Again, they get one time through doing scissors. Okay, so if you have 7 to 10 different ladder drills that you like, they get one each day for one full round of 7 to 8 reps. Here's the skis. Outside of the Icky Shuffle, this is probably one of my next favorites, just because it shows some athleticism. It symbolizes the jump cut in football. Great knee bend, keeping our toes pointing forward, and allowing our arms to get in rhythm is a good one. I like how it keeps our shoulders square as well. We're looking for drills that translate onto the field. In those moments where they kind of go, we feel our athletes fall back to our training, all that good stuff. I like this first rep right here. Take a look at that. So the top half is staying somewhat still, but the bottom half is working. Looks just like they're skiing, right? Great drill. We stumbled upon this a couple years ago. There's so many good ladder drills out there. They most of all of them benefit the athlete, so are beneficial. So I just find which ones work best for you and keep repping them. 36 to 38 times a summer. Each day we say, okay, you're going to add a new one, and we try to make it fun for them. And so they found the bunny hop. getting on their toes. It's it's more of kind of a plyometric, working that ankle flexion, but it's still great, quick hops, being on their toes. Here's the next one that they found recently is the backpedaling icky shuffle, and so it's another good one to include into your ladder drill package. Anytime you can, we do like to make them uncomfortable with the ladder drill. I've talked a lot about finding those, 6 to 7 drills, whether it's for agility, speed, plyometric, or power. Find those 6 to 7 for each day, and just really focus on those drills each day. But rather than learning new drills every time, they're getting to focus on the skill that they're developing. But with the ladder drill, we like to make them uncomfortable and challenge them with some new things every now and then. Here's hopscotch. This is like rubbing your belly and patting your head at the same time. It's kind of a fun one to incorporate. Both feet go out, one foot goes in, and then you're kicking your rear end with your opposite foot. Hopscotch, great drill for you. The last two are more jumping stuff, but still great for the agility ladder. Yoga, we do yoga Tuesdays and Thursdays. Whether you want to call it yoga, stretching, don't matter to us, but we're going to get on the mat, we're going to stretch it out. We do a lot of lifting, we do a lot of running. It's important for our athletes to stay flexible. We believe a flexible muscle is a strong muscle. We believe a flexible muscle is a fast muscle. And so Tuesdays and Thursdays for 15 minutes, our instructors will lead that. Thanks for our speed day. I hope you enjoyed this and you incorporate some of it into your program.